Alrighty, so next we're going to be going over how to do some plotting stuff in Matlab. Just gotta do this because I forgot. I'm going to call this example plots. So usually when you plot something, you have an x variable and a y variable, and your y variable depends on your x. So just like in Excel, you have a set of x values and a set of y values. So to start off, let's go ahead and make our set of x's. And in general, when you're plotting, you know your x values. You can determine what those are. So we're going to say x is equal to linspace. I'm a fan of linspace. You might like the colon method better. From negative 2 pi to positive 2 pi. And let's say we want 100 spaces between those. So I have my x values. Let's say that my y values are equal to sine of x. Let's say I want to plot my x versus my y. It's super duper simple. You literally just type in plot x comma y, and then you hit run. And because this is slow, we now get a plot of x versus y. As you can see, that's a sine wave. It's pretty cool. At least I think it is. Well, what if we want to do more plots? What if we say y1 is equal to sine of x? What if y2 is equal to 3 times x minus 5? And what if y3 is equal to cosine of x? Well, we can include those too. We just have to expand this out. So our first set of data is x, y, 1. Our second set of data is x, y, 2. Our third set of data is x, y, 3. And then if we plot that, we get a nice figure. You get your sine, you got your cosine, and you've got your 3x minus 5. One thing you do have to be careful of if you're trying to do multiplication with matrices, let's say we have let's change y2 because that looked a little funny. Let's say that we're doing x squared. If I try to say y2 is equal to x squared, it thinks that I'm trying to do matrix math, and it's not going to be happy with that, when really we just want to take each individual value inside that vector. So we're going to put a little period right in front of the exponent, and that'll allow us to change MATLAB's mind about what we're actually doing. This tells MATLAB that we are just taking each individual value and squaring that value. So now when we run this, we get our nice little sine wave, we get our cosine, and we get our x squared. Okay, awesome. But I can't tell which one is sine and which one's cosine. Sure, I could figure it out, but I don't feel like having to do that. So that's when we go legend. We can make a legend. Not literally, a legend just tells you what's in your graph. So we say, hey, what's y1 going to equal? Well, the value for y1 is going to be sine of x. The title legend for y2 is going to be x squared. And the value for y3 is cosine of x. So now when we run it, our plot's going to have a nice, pretty legend that tells us, hey, oh, I see, cosine of x is the yellow one, and sine of x is the blue one. Personally, I had a hard time seeing just now what those were, so I'm actually going to do something real quick. You can change a lot of different things in your plot, and there are so many that it would probably take me 20 minutes to go through them all, so I'm just going to go with a couple of my favorites. I can change what each color is and what the line looks like just by going after the XY pair and putting something in. So for example, if I want to change sine of x to be black after x and y1, I put a B. After x2, y2, I can put an R for red. And after x, y3, let's put a K for black. My bad. B will be blue, K will be black. and there's tables online. It's in the PowerPoint that I believe I uploaded to tell you what goes with what. But now when we run that, we can see that my x squared was red, my sine of x was blue, and my cosine of x is black. Huh. I really can't see those. So you know what? Let's put shapes on these graphs. If you can think of it, there's probably a shape for it. So what I'm doing now is inside where I defined what the color of each plot would be, I'm putting a symbol. I put a little triangle, I put an asterisk, and now I'm going to put an X. Oh, that's so much better. Now I can actually see everything. So now I've got my cosine of x are black x's, my x squared are red asterisks, and my sine of x is blue triangles. Another thing that I could do, I can put a title. And you just say title. These are random plots. I can put an X label. And I can say X values. In general, you want to put what your units are, but, you know, everyone do your own thing. Y label. These are going to be Y values. And now when I plot it, I have a Y label, an X label, a figure title, and a legend. Another cool thing with Matlab, you can move this around. Woo! It's a lot of fun. Not really. It's just moving a legend. I hope you have more fun than that. Another fun thing that you can do, just another function, is instead of using plot, you can use scatter. Scatter doesn't connect lines between each of the data points. So if I use, sorry about that, I have to change something. Alright, let's just go with 1 then. That's fine. Some days I would just don't. So I made a scatter plot, and it just puts these little circles for sine of x. So scatter is another useful one. There's a lot of different types of graphs you can make in Matlab, and if you want to go on the website and look them up, that'll provide you with some details about how to do each type of plot. The other big, I guess, idea I'm going to show you is something called holding on. Let's say that I wanted to plot lots of things all on one figure. So I have my x1, my y2, and my y3. Or sorry, I have my x, my y1, my y2, and my y3. If I say hold on, and then I plot x, y1, plot x, y2, and plot x, y3, it's going to do the exact same thing. It'll put all 3 on the same figure, as opposed to if I take out that hold on and I run it, I only get the first graph. So holding on is useful. Plotting, you can get as detailed or as simple as you want, so feel free to ask me any questions.